Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good morning to those of you joining us from the US. Good afternoon to everybody in Europe. Hope everybody's doing great. We'll wait for another minute or two. A lot of people are joining us at the moment, so we'll give it another few minutes before we get started. Hello, welcome everybody again. We're still waiting for people to join, but we can start with a few introductory words before we get going. I hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the finals of our 2-day Idea Marathon, which was titled Strong Tech for Powerful Women. And we're very happy to have you all with us today, and very excited that we'll get to hear the amazing ideas that women students from across the Southeast European region have come up with over the last 2 days. So just a little recap for everybody that wasn't perhaps with us yesterday morning. We have brought together students of different fields, so not just engineering, but also life sciences, natural sciences, design, business, economics, social sciences, together in teams. And they have, for the last 2 days, been working with mentors who are women from HTEC, professionals in their own fields, to come up with the best possible ideas on how technology can improve women's health outcomes. We're very excited about to hear your ideas, so I don't want to take up too much time in the beginning, but I do want to introduce you all in the beginning to our amazing jury who will be hearing the ideas today and selecting the winning idea. With us today is Ann Holder, and if you can turn on your camera and say hi to everybody. Hi, Ann. Ann is the CEO and founder of Marani Health, a company that is very passionate about bringing technology to women across the globe, and they're currently developing a maternal CTG device for home use, something that is meant to significantly improve the outcome of pregnancies, not just in the US, but across the globe. And we're very excited to have Ann with us today to hear your ideas as well. Also with us today is Tina Purnat from the World Health Organization. She's the team lead for infodemic management in the unit for high impact events preparedness in the Department for Epidemic and Pandemic Prevention and Preparedness. Tina, hi, Tina.
Hi.
Great to see you. And also with us today is Grace Han from Brighton Park Capital, a private equity firm from New York, which is passionate about investing in tech companies. And Grace herself has also worked with several medtech companies on bringing value to these firms as an investor. We are also supposed to have with us Sarah Hess. I don't know if Sarah was able to connect yet or not. Sarah also works at the World Health Organization, but she's currently in Congo on a project. And so she is having some difficulties with her internet connection, and we're hoping she can join us at some point. If not, I'm sure her work in Congo is extremely important and exciting, and we can't wait to hear from her when she gets back from this mission. So that is our jury for today. I will be joining the jury in also assessing your ideas. Just to recap, we had a little bit of technical difficulty starting yesterday with Teams in particular, so thank you to all the students for your patience in resolving those. We finally had 7 teams working together over the last 2 days with mentors, and I would now like to invite team number 1 to present your ideas. Just as a reminder, you have up to 7 minutes to share your idea with you. One member of your team should be presenting the idea, but afterwards anybody from your team can join for the Q&A session. We will have up to 3 minutes for Q&A. I'll try to be strict with the time, but it'll be very difficult for me to to interrupt hearing the amazing things that you have come up with. But let's try to keep it to the time we have allocated so that we can hear all the teams well and have time at the end to pick the winning idea. I would like to invite my colleagues now to share the first presentation, and to invite the representative of team number 1 to turn on her camera and present.
Hi. Okay.
Hello. Hi, Nina, is it you?
Yes, we changed the presentation a little bit because we forgot to mention presented by. It's presented by me. So
okay.
okay. Why is my camera like this? Okay, stop. Ah, here I am.
Oh. Hi, Nina.
Hi.
Let me just see if my colleagues can put the presentation in full screen mode, please.
Can I share a presentation maybe?
You can. Did you have some updates? Yes,
Yes.
that's also possible. Yeah. We'll
Okay.
stop sharing now and you can share the screen, Nina. Thank you.
Okay. Just a second.
Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay, do you see it?
Yes,
Okay.
looks great.
Thanks. Greetings, everyone. My name is Nina, and I'm speaking in front of the Team 1, presenting innovative solution of pocket gynecologist assistant named Gene Test. Do you remember being young and insecure about having a problem, or you weren't even sure you had one or not? And have you ever been in a situation where you felt judged by others or felt insecure about seeing your doctor or not being ready to face your problems? Because we have. Main problems that every young woman is facing today are insecurity or shyness, lack of information, bad experiences, unavailability of hospitals and clinics, lack of time, and unavailability due to COVID. This is why we think it's a good idea to introduce technology to help you through this. How would you feel if you had a mobile app to help you, educate you, or just inform you about your body and what is happening to it? So Gene Test application is an app that is interactively guiding you through testing procedure, informing you about possibilities and statistics, and helping you explore your body. Users can get help with the test she already has or get help finding the right test for her needs. If her choice is to fill the questionnaire, the app will show her available tests and she may need to buy. But if she chose to get results from the test, the app will suggest her video and sound guides to help her, and then statistics and gene clinics nearby. After research, we got to the conclusion that there aren't any other apps to help read the results of different tests on the market, nor at Play Store, nor at Apple Store. Our app is available in multiple languages. It has short test recommendation survey, test choice with sound and visual short tutorials, test results at your fingertips, and recommendations and tips and statistics in one place. So value propositions. We will focus on social media. No, yes, da. Ja sam išla malo unazad, ok, malo sam glupača. I'm sorry. We will focus on social media accounts like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc. And promote our application on banners in waiting rooms and pharmacies, and in schools, universities, and dorm hallways, so we could get in touch with many girls. Like I said before, there aren't apps similar to ours, so the biggest competitor for us are conventional methods of test interpretation. We can get revenue from different sources, initially by commercials, and then through cooperation with I don't know how to pronounce it, pharmaceutical companies and private clinics. And in 3 to 5 years, we can extend app functionalities with online store subscription to receive a package deal. We can expand and localize the app for different markets around the world. And we can also get to produce custom tests in cooperation with pharmaceutical companies, okay, which will seamlessly work with our app. Home screening is the cheapest and quickest way to stay healthy, and every young girl should know how to do it. But at the end, visit to the gynecologist is mandatory. That will be all from us. Thanks for your attention. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Nina, so much. Congratulations to you and the team, and thank you for sticking perfectly to the allocated amount of time as well. Great presentation. I would like to now invite Anne, Grace, and Tina to ask their questions.
So I can start. I mean, one of the questions I have, I'm just really interested in the types of tests. If you could give me an example on the test, because I'm actually thinking about this from a regulatory perspective.
Okay.
And how is there communication with the clinical team? But I was just curious about the types of tests that you would be doing. Are they types of surveys? If something comes up that is of significant concern, how does that information get to the person or to a clinical team?
Can you repeat the question, because I don't.
Yeah, I guess if you could, I'm just really interested in the types of testing.
Okay.
And I guess more simply, the types of testing, and then how do the results get communicated back to the person? Is it solely through the app, or is the app then connected to a clinic?
App is connected to the clinic, and when a person asks all the questions, and it will show her the clinics where she can test herself if there is a problem with something with her. If you think about that. If you ask
maybe just, sorry to interrupt this process. So Nina, maybe just to explain the types of tests we plan to scan with the phone. So which types of are those tests, and those are already existing tests. So that's nothing inventive, right? Just to explain how that process works.
Okay, there are tests in pharmacies to which react to pH. Is that how I say? Okay, and the normal is between 3 and 4, I think, and it's represented by colors, and when it gives you, for example, green color, it said it's bad, and that many women that had that color had that and that problem, and that you should test to that problem. And if it's like normal color, like orange, it tells you everything's okay.
Thank you, Nina, so much. Unfortunately, we're out of time for more questions, unless Tina and Grace have a urgent need. If not, I would like to now take just a minute to congratulate Nina and team number 1, and thank Gabriela, who's been mentoring them. There's this great thing in Teams, this little applause. Okay, the virtual applause. Thank you so much, and let's now invite team number 2 to join us, and I would like to ask the representative of team number 2 to turn on her camera now. Hello, Diana, will you be presenting? We see the presentation, but you seem to be frozen. See if there's a connection issue or...
Just a second, DNA is having difficulties.
Okay, no worries. Natasha will wait. Diana can also try turning off your camera if you're having some troubles with internet. Okay, she's reconnecting. That's probably the best course. Okay, she's back. Hi, Diana, can you hear us now?
Yes, it wasn't the problem with my speakers. It just threw me out.
Okay, no worries.
I turned on my camera.
Yeah, we hear you now, and you don't have to turn on your camera if you're experiencing any difficulties with your connection. So please feel free to go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm presenting team number 2. Me and Natasha had an idea to solve a problem. The name of the idea is Cycle Me. Sorry.
Next slide.
Yeah, next slide. Sorry. The problems we want to address are the problems with women and with women who are trying to naturally conceive or naturally contracept, or just having difficulties with hormonal disbalance. We found some let's say researches that say that 10% of women sorry, is somebody saying? Oh,
no,
okay, sorry. That 10% of women between 15 and 44 have difficulties of getting pregnant or staying pregnant, and that available data suggests that about 186 million individuals have infertility globally. Next slide, please. Why are we addressing this problem? Many have discussed this issue, and we found various types of solutions. And those are, for example, going to the doctors more often, or using hormonal contraceptives, or following your calendar, or some devices who track hormones, or I don't know, many other things. But we are in all of this. We want to provide one app in the center of the screen. Is somebody saying something? Or am I hearing things? Sorry.
No, someone was unmuted accidentally.
Oh,
Everyone's
okay,
muted now.
sorry. And we wanted to make, first of all, this app. Next slide, please. Which is the first part of our solution. Our solution would conclude all the data like age or use case or BMI, the starting and ending of the cycle, a mood tracker, and I think what we need to shout out kinda is that it will be giving advice depending on the mood or the day, the day of the cycle, and give articles about reproductive health. This is the first part. And the next part we see in the other picture, we want to, another version of this would be to integrate it in our smartwatches. To have the data we have on our smartwatches, also on our app. Next slide, please. We made an mock-up, let's say, of our app, where we have the basic login, where we have the menstrual calendar with some and the daily data we can put in. This is just the first version we would do, and we can have the mood tracker there and manually put in, for example, our temperature. And this is, I think, the first part. Next slide, please. Yeah. And because it was just the two of us, we agreed on it to share the pride of presenting our problem and our solutions. So I would kindly ask Natasha to follow up.
Hello, everyone. For the first version, as Diana said, we are going to do an app with all the functionalities that was said about, but only with manual inputting. And also we would do a smartwatch app that would make the manual inputting of all the data much easier if you use a smartwatch or maybe some smart band. Then after 6 months, when the first version is done and deployed, we can focus on the second version that will take about 3 months to get more investors and partners, and to start planning on doing the fertility device, which tracks hormones actually, and measures your basal temperature. And the device can also upload the data when it gets the measurement to the app. Can we get the next slide? As I said, for the first version, we're gonna have all the manual things, and it's gonna we have an algorithm that will calculate all the ovulation in the cycle of the woman. But it will be based only on natural family planning method. For the next version, in the next slide. When we start getting more funding, and in the next slide we can focus on the device. This is only an example of a device, how it would look like. It will have like strips or wands, which are different hormone sensitive, and you have to dip them in urine, so it can measure the level of different hormones, and those hormones can be uploaded to the app, which then with the algorithm can calculate more precisely when exactly is your ovulating day and which period is the fertile period for the woman. And if she's trying to conceive, she can use it to conceive more easily. And if she's trying to avoid conceiving, she can avoid those days of having an intercourse. Of course, if the woman is having some hormonal disbalances, she can also use all the data from the hormone testing to give it to her gynecologist or obstetrician, and for them to go over it and maybe realize if there is some disorder in her hormones. Next one. Okay, yeah, that is it. So if you have any questions, you're free to answer.
Thank you, Natasha, so much, and thanks to Diana as well. Right on time, maybe a minute over time, so we have still a couple of minutes left for questions. I would like to ask Tina, Grace, and Anne if they have questions for the girls.
Yeah, have you thought about how you would like to monetize the solution?
App, the first version of the app would be free to download, but we would probably have some kind of advertisement in it if you don't buy the premium package. I'm sorry, my puppy.
Okay.
No worries. And with the next versions, when you buy the device and the strips, you are automatically in the premium package, and that way we earn the money, especially since the strips, the ones should be bought more frequently since you use them up.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. If there are no other questions, okay, we are right on time. Natasha and Diana, thank you so much. Congratulations to the team and also your mentors who have been working with you. So we can move on now to team number 3.
Hello, my name is Diana. Is it maybe a problem if I do a presentation on my own?
Go ahead, please.
Okay,
yeah.
Just to
stop
share.
Sharing. Yep.
Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay, can you just say if you can see?
We can see it. You
Screen?
can screen.
Okay.
Perfect.
So hello again, my name is Diana and I'm speaking in the name of Team 3 and Team 7. So our idea is named Breasty, Women's Bestie. So we can all agree that very big impact in our world is breast cancer. It's the world's most prevalent cancer. In the USA, there's a 13% chances that women can get breast cancer, whereas in Europe it's 9%. As we can see on the left chart, it's a rate per 100,000 women, and whereas we can see in the right picture that all the pink-colored countries are the countries where breast cancer is the top cancer in that country. So we can see that it's a really big problem. What is the main problem is that a person really has a problem with hospitals because they are either unequipped or overloaded, especially while COVID situation. And it's really complicated procedure for making an appointment. The reason why that risks improves is that because if the person detects the breast cancer late, so the most effective way to save life is early detection. And the biggest problem is because unless feeling pain and having serious symptoms, persona doesn't go to see the doctor. So the only solution that comes to our mind is to prevent that late detection and somehow inspire women to check on time their breasts. So we came to a solution that is a handheld device connected to the app that can detect any breast lump. It needs to be small. It's a time-saving device which is giving immediate diagnosis. If you can see in the right bottom corner, there is a device that's a ultrasound, and it's a really small one, but it already exists, but that's just ultrasound, not for breast cancer. So our product will have that ultrasound, and it will be connected by the cable to the app. What is needed is ultrasound gel as whenever ultrasound is used. So the big advantage is that our application shows step by step the process of using ultrasound device. That means it shows you how, when, and for how long to be on one area and then move toward the next one. It's based on machine learning, so it means that we would all need to collect a lot of data, and our program will be trained to recognize breast lumps and compare it with the image of your breasts. So if our application and program, if suspects on breast cancer, you will get a warning, the image of the exact position will be saved, and you will be directed to the nearest clinic to you by Google Map. Of course, we will have partnership with some private clinics, so they will have priority in that application, but we will show also the nearest clinic to you, other clinics, not the one that we have partnership with. So it will have the monthly reminder, which is one of the most important thing, because women often forget to do checkout, so we will remind you to do it. Having a personal record, this is just a check history by you using that app. What is really important is that this device, this product, will have multiple profiles, so it can be shareable. You can share it, and one family can use it. You can share it with friends, and it can divide your costs. So, as I said, advantages. It is a approved method. As you can see in the top right, bottom right corner, there is a device that is called Cosmos. It's already used, but it's used for heart, abdomen, not for breast. So this one, our will be unique design. It will be accurate. It is ultrasound. The most important thing is that there's no risk of radiation, and that provided it can be used by pregnant women and women all ages. When we can see usage, it's life-saving, because early detection, as I mentioned it, and I mentioned it again, is the biggest saver when it comes to breast cancer. It's a small home device. You can use it any room, anywhere you want, any time you want. It's easy to operate, and it's, as I said, cost-saving, time efficiency, and it's shareable. Our customer would be pharmaceutical companies and pharmacies, hospital, diagnosis centers, medical colleges, and of course, women who will use it for personal care. So when we talk about market side, it can be used by all the women. I mean, we said between 20 and 80, but the main thing is that there is no limit in the ages. So it can, younger women and older can use it. When we say we've analyzed our competitors, there are a lot of, not a lot of, there are small list, because they are either too big and not for personal usage, or they are they're based on X-rays, and it's based on radiation, and that's not good because it has its risks. So we also analyzed business market, and we know that the cost structure, biggest cost would be hardware and software cost, whereas as revenue streams, we know that we'll gain money from product sale, from ads, investors, online donations, and of course partnership with private clinics, and partnership with ultrasound gel producer, because ultrasound gel is needed. We thought that maybe in the package we could we could give one gel for the first uses. So in these team members, there were Alexandra, Zorana, Nadia, Mayra, Daniela, Navira, and myself. I'm Tiana. And thank you for your attention. I hope you liked it, and we are open for your questions.
Thank you so much, Tiana. I have to say everybody is perfectly rehearsed at 7 minutes, which we really, really appreciate. Thank you for that. And thank you for the great presentation. Congratulations to you and the whole team and your mentors as well. Tina and Grace, any questions for Team 3?
Yes,
I was.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just had a really quick question as far as using ultrasound. Has there been research done on using ultrasound for assessing breast tissue?
Yes, it's already used in medical centers and hospitals, ultrasound, other than mammography and CT scanners.
Thank you, Tina. Your question?
Yeah, I was just thinking, have you considered validating how perhaps self-scanning may affect the test results or the algorithm training that you're going to do? So even though this is an established test or method, did you plan any particular validation of the algorithm and the approach before releasing it?
Well, yes. I mean, with the app was supposed to go area by area, small areas, and it was shown. So exactly for that reason, so the pictures can be used in algorithms and programs that we trained. We would train our program in with those small areas, so it won't make big mistakes.
Right. There's just a question of, and this is only perhaps something to consider during development, whether there's actually a difference in the pictures that are taken by a healthcare provider versus a person themselves. So.
Well, sorry. We'll. Okay, Alexandra, go ahead.
Sorry. Well, that's why we'll try to make the navigation in the app accurate, and the users should follow that guide instruction. I hope that answers the question.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tiana, if you can stop sharing your screen. Just a quick question for me. Do you have an idea of how much the device would cost?
Sorry. How to end?
Cost of the device. Nadia, did you want to respond?
Yes. Yes, we actually looked at the ultrasound. There's a pocket sized, and we looked like it's possible to find this kind of devices or ultrasound technologies like in €5 in Serbia. So it's going to be pretty cheap. It won't be altogether, the device won't be that much costly. So it's affordable for like day-to-day use for women.
Okay. Thank you, Nadia, so much. Thank you, Tiana, Alexandra. Congratulations to team number 3. Amazing job. I would like to now invite team number 4 and whoever is presenting from team number 4 to turn on their camera.
Hello.
Hi, Minya.
Hello.
Great to see you. Minya, do you want to share the presentation yourself?
Yes, I would love that.
Easier? Yes, please go ahead.
I will share. Do you see the presentation?
Yes, it's perfect.
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Great. Hello, I'm Minya, and I'm very happy to represent our team's idea called Crop Dakes. So before I start, I have a quick question. Have you ever been in a situation where you know something is wrong with your body, but it's not alerting. So the doctor says, okay, just go home, look after it, come to me after 5 or 6 months. And then you come home and then you start panicking because what's going to happen in those 5 or 6 months. This is the same situation many women face when they are diagnosed with the breast lump that may occur as a breast cancer. So when you go home, like you or anybody else goes home and starts investigating, and they start looking at the steps, how to examine the lump, or then you start thinking, is it increasing? Is it getting larger and larger, or just imagining? And that's the situation where you have the psychological effect on your medical situation. Also, after 5 or 6 months, many women won't come to the doctor's appointment because they might be scared they actually find out something, that it's not just a lump, it's already a breast cancer. Also, many women don't have the kind of amount of money to actually go to the doctor's appointments, or they just don't have time. And this is where our idea comes. We represent you. Actually, I have a solution that consists out of hardware and software part. So the hardware part is the part where it's actually wearable and it's adjustable. It comes in all different sizes. It's easy to use and it's not harmful. That hardware is actually a crop top with all the electronics that we need. The most important part in this hardware part are the sensors, that there are 5 of them, and you can always put one of the sensors on the lump that you're scared of. That sensor actually measures the activity in your tissue, in your breast tissue, and all those information sends actually to the application that you have on your mobile phone. This is where the software part comes. So we have an application on your mobile phone where you can enter your age, your history illness, the history of your family illnesses. Then you can put your current status, are you pregnant, are you in menopause, everything that we need for the medical record. But also in those data, we get the information from our hardware part, from our sensors, that says, is it getting larger? Is it getting that lump larger, or is it getting smaller and smaller? And the best part of it that we will have all the data needed, because we'll do research on women. That data is actually important for insurance companies, but our main target are healthcare institutions. So we want to sell our product to the healthcare institutions, and then they will rent to the patients, actually the women that are suspicious of something happening in their body. They will use it for 1 month. They will do measurements every 7 days, for example, and they will notice if actually something is changing or everything's perfectly fine. This way, we are actually not making crowded places in hospitals, and doctors can actually be more efficient in their jobs. They can focus on just critical cases, not cases that might be or might not be breast cancer. And also we are spreading awareness between women, because that way they can use all the time in-house without feeling uncomfortable going to the doctors and doing things that they have to do at the doctor's appointment. Because of this, we expect that in 4 years, we could make from 2.5 million to 3.3 million products. And that's the number of women that have breast cancer, but they were sent home to self-examine. Now that's our goal, that's our main goal, and that's the path that we are going. When it comes to competition, there are similar projects, but we don't have that great similarity between technology and what we are using. Also, they are targeting a group of women that are at higher risk of breast cancer. Our group of women are pretty much every woman that is just scared and concerned. So it's a larger group, and this is the group that we are targeting. Our device would cost around 850 euros, and the idea is that in first month we would produce 100 of these devices and sell them. And in every next month, the percentage of the production of these devices would increase for 20%. The annual revenue would be 1.2 million euros for the investment of 5 million. we calculated that after 2 years of selling product, we'll be on zero. Actually, then we'll start gaining profit. And we believe that we can, after that period of time, we could go from the European continent to the US market. So we will increase our market. Investing in this idea is actually investing in this unique team of 7 very ambitious young girls that have unique ideas, a different approach, and that are very hardworking, as I could and all my other colleagues could see in these past 2 days. We have a great connection, great communication, and all of our individual characteristics made that possible, that we can actually get this idea to this stage to represent a model that can help a lot of women around the world. So this is our goal. This is what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mina, so much for this fantastic presentation. I would like to invite now Anne, Grace, and Tina to ask their questions for the team.
Yeah, first off, great presentation. Love that you thought about the monetization model and how much you were planning to make every single year. Who exactly do you plan to sell the solution to?
I would ask if Christina would like to answer this question because she's expertise in this field. Is Christina here? If not, then I'll go on with, we would like to sell to the healthcare institutions. So the main part is actually selling them and then renting to patients, to women that want to actually self-care, the self-care checkup.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, I wanted to ask. I really you're targeting a very interesting market and audience. So it's women who have been diagnosed with a lump, right? But it's still not operable or needs a checkup in 5 to 6 months. That's the target audience.
Yes.
Really interesting problem to solve. So congratulations on that. And just going back to Grace's question, you're renting it out for a certain period of time, right? It's in consultation with their doctor and they wear it for the period until they have the next checkup. That's the idea.
Yes. So we just sell it, the product, and the hospitals would then rent to the patients. So we don't do the renting part. So the idea when they actually take the device, it's pretty much because they are concerned that something is going on. They see a lump. So doctor says, okay, don't worry, just wear this every 7 days, and we'll see if something is happening in the breast tissue or in that lump. Is it enlarging? So if it's getting bigger, come earlier to me, or if it's getting smaller, everything is going to be fine. So
and what is the technology of the sensors that is actually able to detect the growing of the lump?
It's a flexible MEMS sensor. So pretty much when you put the sensor on a body, the force of that lump will actually touch the sensor, and the sensor will detect that force. So it can see if, well, when it comes to sensors, they will actually calculate the force and then transform it into voltage, and that voltage will be compared with the previous data. We have the data that if the voltage is higher than the normal number like a one type of range, if it's higher, then it's a cancerous tissue. So pretty much it's just sensors putting on the body. They sensor if something is forcing them, so it's literally touching them, and what's the force, and that force converts to the voltage. So that's pretty much it, and the voltage is then and the voltage to the app. Sorry.
I understand. I guess my primary concern there is that actually this growth, the lump may be so deep and so on, that it's not actually going to exert physical force on the sensor to be able to detect the growth.
They are quite sensitive, and they are actually custom made for that situations for actually detecting those lumps. So they are really for the medical part.
Okay, great. Any other questions from the jury? Okay. If not, congratulations to team number 4. Amazing job. I would like to now invite team number 5 to join us. Anna, hello.
I think we're number 6.
Okay.
Or maybe 5. Am I mistaken?
Well, you're the 5th presentation, so go ahead. But yes,
so we
were
are the
expecting
number
you.
5. Okay. So is it okay if I share the presentation?
Yes, please go ahead.
Awesome. So I wait a second just to prepare everything. Okay, so can you please stop sending the messages because I'm gonna get it in the middle of the presentation? Okay. So, hello everyone. You might never know, but every princess has a twisted story, and this story is about scoliosis. There is 1 million of new cases of scoliosis each year that is detected of the girls in USA. And when it is diagnosed, the treatments are expensive and time-consuming, which leads to high dropout rates from the treatment. We're talking more about the treatments that are based on exercises. If the treatment is not pursued, the consequences are 30 times more expensive. It affects girls 10 times more than the boys, so we targeted princesses of the age from 10 to 14 years old. In those years, the treatment will have the best effect. So we decided to bring the treatment closer to the girls' experiences with a unique solution. We use the power of a game to straighten the spine. We will design a game that includes actual scoliosis exercises into game environment with all the relevant game elements. So gamification and entertainment will help to make a treatment an excited habit. This way, by buying one game, parents are not paying for multiple treatments. Furthermore, future treatments costs are prevented and the pressure on the healthcare system is lowered. As we like to say, less patients, less pressure. If I talk about the numbers, today about $130 billion is spent on scoliosis treatment. And we're talking about, for example, in the future, if we have the treatment of depression or pregnancy issues or any related issues that might cause if you do not treat scoliosis. But our tech solution, as you can see in the middle, might reach a size of about 3.75 million per year with the sales of our game on the Oculus store. We're talking about the game that whose price could be between $20 and $40 in the USA market, depending on the costs of the engineer and, of course, how complex the game is. There are 3 pillars that you can see that will carry our product development. First one is making a continuous improvement of the gameplay. The second one is developing a supplemental hardware. We're talking about the sensors that can actually follow better the movements and how the girl is doing the exercise. And the third pillar you can see is developing specialized VR kit made for scoliosis treatment. We are hoping that further down the road, our solution can be expanded to other physical problems that kids and adults face with different games and stories. But for now, we just want happy girls, straight and tall. And in the end, we would tell a scoliosis joke, but we would be out of the line. And by the way, how are you sitting right now?
Thank you so much. Not sitting properly, I'll tell you that. Okay. Great work, Anna and the team. Anne, Grace, Tina, questions?
Yeah, first off, very creative. And I also was slouching when you said that at the end. So that was a good reminder to sit upright. And I do have scoliosis, so I should pay attention to that. But so first question, would love to learn a little bit more on how do you plan to get your product to the end customer, to the end user? Is the thought that you're going to sell this directly to patients? Do you want to sell it through doctors? Is this something that can be viewed as like medical treatment and can be written off? How have you thought through all of that?
So in the beginning, the idea is to give few VRs to the clinics or the rehabilitation centers where the medical staff can actually overview and tell us the data if this is actually working or not. After that step, when we have the data, there is an organization who should actually approve this type of games to actually say that we're actually helping. And from that spot on, actually we would like to, of course, join the doctors, but our main perspective was actually to sell it to clinics and to sell it to customers directly, to be more precise, to pay to parents of those girls. So we would join the advertisement, but our first step would actually to introduce it into clinics, to get the data, and then to launch it to the next step.
Very cool. And are there any other, outside of scoliosis, are there any other types of physical therapy that you thought that this type of solution could be attributed to? So after you've penetrated the whole scoliosis market, are there any other markets that you'd like to go into?
Well, there is a huge spot for rehabilitation of, for example, sports people. And if we actually manage through computer vision and other like computing things through the game, we can actually include the whole other area of sports rehabilitation and any other locomotive issues that people have. Yes, we focus on the spine, but we actually thought more about the expansion of the target group for the spine and then actually to target hands and legs and other joints.
Very cool.
Any other questions from Anne or Tina?
I'm just curious, as we were talking about that, the competitive landscape overall. Have you looked at the market to understand who is doing this?
Right now, not many people is doing it. So this is the main reason why we started. If we talk about the gamification of the VR for rehabilitation, right now it is just in the beginning. And the main reason we decided for VR is because in the last year, people are buying VR in that manner that the both VRs actually launched to 300%. So if we have more VRs in the home, and this is like rising technology, let's say, we would like to invest in that manner and then to include professional staff and doctors to actually make it more available and more, let's say, to be better on the market, to be the one that people are going to come to for that.
Anna, tell me, are there any limitations to children using VR at the moment? I think there are some lower limits.
Yes, there are some lower limits, but we thought about them as well, because if they have only the headset, then we would need additional code in the game to actually recognize the hands and to recognize the other parts of the body. That is the reason why we said that the next developing part would be additional sensors, because if the kids would like it, then we would add the sensor that could be on the hands, on the legs, on the other parts of them. And in that way, we can actually have a closer way with those additional things and the computer programming that will run the game.
Thank you so much, Anna. We are approaching the time limit, but if there's maybe one final question, if not, I would like to thank team number 5 for your work and for this fantastic presentation and idea. Congratulations, everybody, really amazing work. And I would now like to invite team number 6 to join us. I believe, Maria, you will be presenting, right?
Yes, can everyone hear me and see me clearly?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so I will just share my screen since we did our presentation in Canva and aren't able, since we sent the PDF, to actually maybe get the full scope. So I'll just start presenting. Could you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we see it perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Magija Ričević, and in front of team number 8, I will be representing our solution called Harmony, where female health will be in women's hands. So firstly, I want to ask you, how does this image make you feel? As someone who's in her 20s, who is still planning her career, who is trying to figure out what I want to do in life, the thought of having a child for me, and maybe for the rest of my teams, we're all the same age, isn't the best news at this moment in time. But for a lot of women around the world, this is life-changing moment that they've been waiting for years and years. During our education regarding our reproductive health, if anything, we're often educated on how not to conceive, how not to get pregnant, and how to avoid it. But a lot of people, a lot of couples worldwide struggle with conceiving and starting a family. So the numbers that we found from different research, including the World Health Organization, state that over 50 million women worldwide struggle with fertility, and they're undergoing different types of treatments to see how they can fix the problem because of genetics, psychophysical, social reasons, and they're often actually at the doctors maybe more than they want to spend time there. Some interesting data is that 1 in 4 couples approximately struggle with conceiving, which means that they've been trying for approximately a year or more and haven't been successful. About 94.5 women say that they have some unmet needs for medical examination, which often includes reproductive health, especially in Serbia, as it's very often just not mentioned, or it's a taboo topic that we don't talk about enough at school. And there's over $173 million right now being used for funding in fertility research as of October 2021. So on a global basis, this is being recognized as a really important problem that we need to deal with. So with challenges regarding reproductive health, timing is often crucial. When you're trying to conceive, undergo in vitro, other methods, it's crucial that you go and come see the doctor at a time where your hormone levels are at an exact rate, so that the treatment has, the best possible outcome, which is why we believe that personal solutions are the best and will become even more predominant in the future in tackling a number of medical issues, not just fertility. So the solution we came up with, we named it Harmony, is an at-home system that combines the lab technology with personalized analysis, be designed to capture the specific hormonal biomarkers from a few drops of blood, and based on a method called electrochemical impedance spectroscopy, which is a new technique used for the analysis of interfacial properties related to biorecognition events occurring at the electrode surface, like antibody or antigen recognition, a recognizing of enzymes, or the whole cell capturing. It represents an at-home fertility monitoring tool that can actually, lessen some of the apprehensiveness that's usually associated with routine screenings, and will give women more privacy and more control when they're trying to conceive and trying to manage the hormones and their general reproductive health. So when thinking about this problem, we had in mind women who are in their reproductive period, who are planning pregnancy, who are either preparing for an in vitro procedure or maybe assisted conception, who are trying to track the success results of their hormonal treatments that are tied to amenorrhea. They're following the development of polycystic ovarian syndrome, perhaps, or they're trying to actually predict premenopause for women who have unusual fluctuations in the FSH hormones. And how we actually designed the solution and how would it work? It would have 3 components. So we would have a device which would enable you to, using a few drops of blood, measure the level of hormones that are predominant. And because our hormone levels tend to vary throughout the month, in different periods, you could be able to measure actually the level of hormones and their relation. And in certain periods, you can, if you see a concern, go to a doctor even before it's necessary, before it's time for your usual checkup. So this information would be run through a software app, which would upload it to a cloud, and comparing it to data collected from before, your normal range, or information you get from your doctor. But of course, comparing it to a lab result, we would say is normal or targeted. You could see what your levels are, and you could see how you're doing daily, weekly, or even during the month, depending on how often your treatments are with your doctor, or how concerned you are about your condition. And what would actually be happening is that a mix of blood and the biomarkers would generate a reaction or a change that would generate a signal in the transducer that would actually amplify and give us the results, and will give us a clear result, which is why we actually chose to use blood testing instead of saliva or urine testing, because in saliva and urine tests, we can only see the level of hormones that are unbound, But with blood testing, we can see the level of hormones that are bound to a certain protein. So the test results are more accurate and can give us a wider picture of what's happening. And we really want that, especially for something that's as specific as a reproductive health. So how do we come up with this idea? We're a team that combines pharmacy, machine learning, and economics in harmony. And we are concerned about our own reproductive health, but also want to give women the freedom and the power to be able to stay on top of their hormone levels and have more control over what's happening in their body and how they can react to it. Some of the benefits of having control over our hormone levels is that we can definitely react more quickly if we notice that there is a change. We can see how our different lifestyle habits affect maybe our hormones. And also this would give a more detailed picture of our condition throughout the month or throughout the day even to our physician, who can then give us a better equipped treatment. In the end, we, with our solution, want to put female health in women's hands. We want to enable more women to live their lives freely, even though they're facing some challenges with their reproductive health, and give them the opportunity to feel safe and feel reassured, especially with something that's as personal as having a baby. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, so much. Absolutely love your team's titles in the presentation. And I'm sure we'll be seeing those titles on your LinkedIn profiles very soon in your careers. Great work. I'd like to invite Anne, Tina, and Grace to ask questions.
So I do have some questions. It was very interesting, and quite honestly, as a woman, I see this technology not being used just in fertility, but throughout, you know, a woman's life, essentially. I'm very interested in, you know, the technology, and would like to know more about it, not here, because, but I am very, very interested in it. But the cost of it, do you envision a hardware cost in the home? Or more of a SaaS model for monthly fees, or would you just do monthly fees with no hardware? I'm just curious what that model would look like.
Yes, so our primary idea, which is actually compared to maybe some other devices that are out there, they're trying to tackle this problem, but are still heavily connected to lab results and are enabling actually women to have maybe more freedom in this process, is that we would have a hardware and it would function as a single product. So when we're able to buy it, a price that we were able to come up with is around $350, which compared to, I think I may be hearing someone double, maybe it's just myself. It's $350 with having actually included the app itself and the hardware. And considering the time that it usually takes for women who are trying to conceive and who are going through therapy and who are not only maybe trying to have a baby at this moment, but maybe want to track their hormonal health in general if they have problems, is longer than 1 year. We assumed that this wouldn't be a monthly subscription, but that this would be a product that they would be able to buy once and use. And what we calculated is that the average lifespan is around 3 years, and that would include that they would be using it a couple of times a week. So that would be 3 to 4 around.
Thank you, Maria. Any questions from Tina or Grace? If not, my only question was, I just had the thought that, do you think there would be any, do you think women would react in any way negatively to having to draw blood multiple times a week for this type of testing, as opposed to, like you said, urine testing? Yes, this gives you more precision, but you know, does it outweigh does the precision in people's minds bring you enough benefit to, you know, have to do this more more direct testing than just giving urine?
Yeah, so our initial inspiration were the diabetes tests that we often see our grandmothers using or our grandfathers, and the way that they're using them. So it wouldn't be a traditional, say, drawing of blood. they would be able to put their finger on the device, which will have a needle that could be sanitized. But with this device, we aren't primarily focusing on women who would want to, in general, track their hormones, which they could do through urine tests and saliva tests, which are less abrasive than maybe having to prick their finger. But women who need, in some way, to monitor their hormones so that they could continue with their treatment. And we want to also underline that this, we didn't imagine it to be something that women would use right now as maybe a contraception method, which it could be. But we wanted it to be targeted towards women who have experienced certain hormonal treatment or therapy in the past and who need to continue it, and who actually would be the primary users and who would, with correlation with their doctor, be able to share the results and get feedback on it. So they wouldn't
Thank
be
you,
using it more than necessary.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you and the whole team, and also your mentors. A wonderful presentation, and we're right out of time. So congratulations to team number 6. And I would now like to invite team number 7. I believe Sanya should be joining us to present. Hi,
Hello,
Sanya.
everyone. Can you see me?
Great. Good to see you.
I'm
Do you want to share the
Yes.
presentation? Okay,
I
go
would
ahead,
like to
please.
share the presentation. Okay, so how many of you have struggles choosing cosmetic products that suit you? That you're confident that they won't
Sorry, Sanya,
affect?
we don't see your presentation if you have one.
Oh, yes, I do have one. So something is up. Okay. Do you see now?
Yes.
Okay. So, how many of you have struggles choosing cosmetic products that suit you? That you're confident that they won't affect your health badly, your skin, your hair, your body in general? So we have a problem. 10% of people struggle with allergies because of bad skin products. Allergies caused this way could lead not only to irritation, but also serious immune system problems or even cancer. Also, 80% of teenagers use beauty and personal care products. So in those ages, we all know hormones really affect your body the most. And what happens? A friend of yours tries a product and it perfectly works for them. And then they suggest it to you, you try it out, and then boom, acne, irritation, and so on. So you got misled and caused yourself a serious issue. Then what else is there? Change of personal necessities throughout the years. For example, if you dye your hair often, you start needing more moisturizing products. Or when you get older, you want to switch to like wrinkle stopping creams and so on. So basically, you are in a constant need for guidance. So also language barrier. For example, you go to Japan and want to shop there in a foreign country, and you might not understand the label on the products. So our goal is actually finding safe and suitable cosmetic products for every individual. So let's meet Sarah Rossi. Sarah Rossi is a 23-years old girl, a marketing manager who works for a big company. She's interested in bioproducts, so she supports physical well-being. However, she is allergic to some ingredients and she has sensitive skin. So she has narrowed options and she struggles finding the right products for her. She also finds it difficult to understand product labels, and she also hardly finds time to go to dermatologist. So that's what inspires us. Now, what is the solution? We are building a mobile app called Pink the Right Choice for women who struggle finding beauty products that won't affect their health. So how the user flow will look like. Woman creates an account, type in her personal information, and then the personalization comes in. So she fulfills a questionnaire about her skin type, her allergies, products that she already uses, reasons why she downloaded the app. Then she scan a product, find if it's good for her and if it matches her needs. And then she gets recommended substitute products for it. And she gets a chance to book an online consultation with an actual dermatologist. So we have personalization. So after you entered all the information, depending on your reasons, the app leads you further. So we track product analysis and recommend products based on users' needs. And everything afterwards is tailored according to them. And we constantly learn about the user during the whole experience. We also have an expert advice. While using the app, you will always have a little pop-up AI robot that you can ask any question you have. But also, if it doesn't have an answer for you, it will suggest you booking an online consultation with a dermatologist. So we can give you the ability to do so wherever you are. Overall, you get a well-rounded experience. Pink the Right Choice covers everything. So from scanning a specific beauty product and breaking down its ingredient list in various languages, like Google Translate option on the spot, with a note if it matches with your needs on your profile. Over understanding users' skin type, hair type, and over recommending products that go along with that, to letting the user know where they can purchase that product. So it shows you, the app shows you the nearest store. And in the case product doesn't exist, additional option is adding the product yourself by scanning the label and so on. So we can all contribute to the app. Now talking about business model, how will we earn money from this app? We will do so by making partnerships with trustworthy beauty companies whose products we recommend. We will do so by taking a percentage from every booked consultation with the dermatologist, and by having promo codes in recommended nearest drugstores. Now the competition. First of all, there are a lot of competitor apps on the market, so that confirms that there is a real need for this. However, they don't offer everything needed. They cover just a part of users' journey, and they are not personalized. So main points why Pink the Right Choice will beat its competition would be, first of all, personalization, and the second, an ability to easily and fastly seek for professional help. Now talking about the market strategy, firstly we will launch the app to beta users, validate the solution, and then collect feedback. And then users can find out about the app through social media and search engine organization, because these days these are the most effective ways. So in conclusion, we started from a real problem. So our idea came from actually one of us, from Nessa, who was facing this issue. And so this is why we are also the ones to solve it, because we truly understand it. That would be it, talking about the presentation.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, great presentation. I would like to invite Anne, Tina, and Grace to follow up with some questions. Questions for the team? Grace,
one
go ahead.
question I would love to ask is, are there any risks? Do you think there are any risks associated with giving medical advice around people's skincare, and how would you plan to mitigate those risks?
Alexandra, you're muted.
Sorry. This question would be organized by our dermatologists at our company. So it would be like on the real level and not something that that's not serious. And after that, at some kind of an update, we would probably include some other dermatologists globally to make some kind of a network. With all the reviews and maybe some images of their images, reviews, and everything else about them.
Nice. And then how would you plan to monetize the platform?
Yeah. Well, firstly, we would try to find some sponsors, or maybe some strategic partners. So that's something that we thought about, like the first option. So, and even maybe to find some private investors. So that would be maybe the best option to start with.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you. We've actually run out of time, so congratulations to team number 7. Excellent job, and well done also to your mentors who have been working with you for the last 2 days. I'd like to now finally invite our last team that's presenting to us today, team number 8. I believe Yelena should be joining us for their presentation. Hi, Yelena.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and we can see your presentation as well.
That's great. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone. This is a group that really passionately thinks about the mental health of the women. So this is our product, and we call it Mellow Voice. So our team is here to present to you the Mellow Voice. Research shows that 1 in every 8 women expect to develop the clinical depression during their lifetime, and fewer of them are going to ask for help. The World Health Organization new mental health atlas paints a disappointing picture of a worldwide failure to provide that help when it wasn't needed the most, and that was the pandemic of COVID-19. So Mellow Voice is here to help with mental health with women, and it is a physician-prescribed therapeutical for women who are reluctant to seek help. And it is designed in a way that to users, it is a safe place to talk about and to try to articulate their emotions and feelings, with a possibility of detecting mental health issues if they arise by using an AI voice recognition technology. And also we implement in the app the support of a friend, spouse, or family member of their choosing. So how does it work? What makes us different is that we offer complete coverage of handling and raising awareness about the mental health in women's population, which no other existing solution on the market does. The first type of the offer, the first type of the support that we offer is inputting a close friend's email address who is going to be notified if the software behind the app recognizes the need to. So when the person is not sure that they are in need of help, we are there for them to maybe contact a close friend to reach out. The second type of support we offer is a 3-channel of interactions. The first one is being an AI recorder. For user, it is very important to try to articulate the emotion, as I already said, that they feel. And for us, the people behind the app, AI technology is going to help and be the tool to recognize the patterns and the symptoms that can be again, recognized from using this kind of technology. And it can potentially help us diagnose depression in women. And we are heavily relying, we're using this idea and we are heavily relying on the research papers that explain and support this phenomenon. So the second type of, the second part of this is quizzes. Quizzes are here professionally curated and monitored to also detect patterns of the behavior in the responses. And we plan on using quizzes like Hamilton's scale, but kind of making it more fun and more easier to fill out. The third one is expressing thoughts. We did find research that supports the idea of everyday journaling and how it can improve everyday's mental health. So it is included in our app. And also, the final part of the app is the feature that offers the recommended services, where they get bulletproof recommendations on how they can improve their mental health in that moment. Yes, we did put here like go take a cup of coffee, enjoy slow walk, but sometimes that is actually a good thing for a depressed person to do, just get out of bed. So MeloVoice is going to be an app that combines AI technology with the professional mental health panel that we will recruit as consultants in making this app. And we offer support to women, as I said, in 3 different ways. That is what will I'm so sorry. Make us stand out from the crowd. Let's just say that. I have really problem with that word. So what's next for us after the POC? We are planning to, of course, launch the app and the full version, and we are wanting to expand it by making it available in different languages and in different countries. Also being in contact with specialists in those countries. And in the time when it's appropriate, maybe share it with the other gender, like male, children, because we want to be all inclusive one day and be there for everyone, because we do believe that mental health is just a part of the health that shouldn't be taken like just one thing. And we think it's a health for all. So if we plan to monetize it by insurance coverage, public health institutions, government organizations, health funds. And this is how we decided to go about it. Why? Because this is how our application will be not be paid by our users, and it will be more accessible, and it will be more reliable because there is a science behind it. It would be covered by insurance because it would be prescribed by the doctors for the constant monitoring of their patients. So we encourage you while using our app to tell it like it is and be honest. And we are here with you on that journey. Any questions?
Thank you, Yelena. Congratulations on the presentation and the work your team has done. And Grace and Tina, do you have any questions for Yelena or the rest of her team?
Yeah, how do you plan to incentivize the end users to use the platform?
So we were talking about we want them to feel like that is a safe space. When you have to go to talk to the psychiatrist or psychologist that you don't know, it's very hard to open up. And a lot of people try to paint the picture of themselves that is not true. The data that we collect will be honest and will be showing the real picture and the real mental health and the real state of the woman that are feeling in that moment.
Gotcha. And then how do you plan to manage data privacy concerns? Because this is definitely some, like all medical devices, you're having a lot of very sensitive data. So how will you ensure that you're following all regulatory compliance?
So, for example, we were talking about the partner that we said, like the friend. That friend is not actually a part of the app, but we were planning on the place where you have the part of the app where you need to register. There will be like an informative little message that says that you should inform your friend about this app, and the friend will receive the check button if they're okay with us using their email address. If there is a problem, that they can be notified. So the both parties are equally involved and also educated on how it works.
If I can jump in for this one as well. So for example, especially in voice recognition systems, we might tell people that their voice will only be used in that particular second. After that, only the features from the voice will be used. So none of the voice will stay inside of the application, or the voice will not be remembered for any long period of time. So it will be just used to extract features, to analyze it, and then it can as well be deleted.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Maybe just myself. I've been listening intently to all teams on this. I must say congratulations. It's been a very interesting presentation. I appreciate a lot that you're looking at different interactions with the user. So talking and the quiz and the diaring. Have you thought of how you would measure whether the mental health of the user had improved or had been alleviated? So I really like your idea, because it's been shown that when people, even if people know that they're interacting with AI or with non-human system, actually their mental health improves. But I'm curious if you were thinking about how you would actually measure or detect if that is true.
Well, we actually did think about it. So first of all, there's just one article published that there can also be measured minor depression inside of a voice, not just major depression. So there can be gradually diverse if classified if the pressure is lower or higher. So that's one way from a voice. And then the other one would be from that Dear Diary moment, because when person is depressed, he or she would often write, and that pattern would be more often, and the words itself would be different from time to time. So whether a person is depressed or no, the other words that would appear there, frequency of writing would not be the same, and so on. So there, that would actually be like a pattern recognition inside of that Dear Diary moment, which would be actually our idea behind it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Team 8. Congratulations to everybody. Really, really exciting idea. With this, we are concluding our pitches. Congratulations to all 8 teams. It's really incredible what you've been able to accomplish in less than 2 days. What we will do now is that I will kindly ask the jury to switch to a different link, which I've emailed you just now, and we'll be gone for, I believe, less than 10 minutes. In the meantime, we will share a short video with you, and after that video, our mentors will just take the time while the jury is deliberating, so to speak, to share their impressions from working with you over the past 2 days, some advice and lessons learned over the course. So, and Tina and Grace, see you at the different link, and everybody else, see you in 10 minutes.
Okay, so we are back, I would say, after this impactful 2 hours filled with emotions. I guess a lot of mentors also felt the emotions. I, for one, had stage fright, and not just the girls from my team. So I would like to invite, if everybody hears me, right? Like, I would like to invite the mentors to turn on their cameras, because now it's us on the spotlight. So, and there's been quite a few of mentors also working tirelessly over the 29 hours. I really can't wait for some of the feedback, because unfortunately we're all colleagues, and we didn't really have the time to share some of the experiences. So maybe we can use the next 15 minutes to talk about how was this 29 hours? Were they fun, or were they challenging? Did you sleep at all? Did the girls you were working with sleep? So I would actually like to maybe start just by, voicing out some of the names and checking the experiences. So, Milena, what can you tell me about the past 29?
I think it was a little bit hard at first. The girls did their jobs, I mean, ideas brainstorming till 9 p.m. last night. And right after that, they asked themselves, I think that was the time when they asked themselves the right question, actually. What is bothering you? Exactly. Not to the, I don't know, world peace and everything, but you, what's your problem? And I think Bogdana was the first to mention scoliosis. And it was like, oh, okay, that was interesting. And after that, everything went in the right direction. I'm really super proud of them.
I think a lot of us just nodded their heads when your group was talking, like, yes, scoliosis.
Yeah. My colleague from the office.
Profession.
Oh, that's what I need. Oh, that's what I need. It was
Yeah,
like
it
that
was
here.
an amazing tagline. What was really great to see was that, although it started as like tech for strong women, right? Like powerful tech. What I was really shocked by was the level of creativity that we were able to see, from taglines to designs of the decks. So I would really love to hear some of the inputs from our product innovation mentors team, looking at all the 8 presentations, not just your group. Like, how would you rate this? I mean, this is market ready, right? Maybe Irena, and then
I think
Sara.
Irena is.
Yeah, honestly, I'm quite
the credits
impressed.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, the decks were amazing. A lot of different stuff were covered, and honestly, it's quite close to how we do things in the innovation office, thinking about a market, competitors, how we can monetize stuff. Girls covered a lot of these different topics, which was very impressive. And I'm not sure how the teams were working. I assume the mentors were there to help guide them in the right direction, but from the presentations and the way they answer the questions, it was obvious that the girls understood how to think about good products. So I'm quite happy with how everything turned out.
Awesome. Sara, what's your experience? You had one of the smallest groups.
Yeah, team of 3. It was great. It was easier to coordinate, so that's a plus from one side. But on the other hand, like, smaller pool of ideas. Also, the girls had similar backgrounds. They're all electrical engineers, or at least they're studying electrical engineering. So we didn't have that grand field of grand playing field of ideas. So, but I guess that with teams that had more girls, that coordination part was more difficult. So there are pros and cons, but it was nice. It was nice. Girls already came with a couple of ideas. this one, the one they presented actually had like the strongest business case and had kind of good rationale behind, and so we decided to pursue that one, even though it wasn't the most innovative, but it was kind of marketable. So yeah, nice one.
So just to contrast what you just said, because I'm biased, I know that group 10 had 9 different ideas. So Milena, could you share how was it dealing with too many ideas?
I guess it was a bit overwhelming at first, since I couldn't kind of figure out how we are going to decide which one is the best. So then we started, I guess, acting like the black hat we all hate and love at the same time, like trying to find red flags and holes in each of the ideas. So it was, I guess, easier for the girls to figure out which one drives them the most. So we kind of decided that 2 ideas were most relevant and have most, I guess, impact and traction. So we chose the one by voting. So go democracy.
I love that I'm seeing fans or groupies in the comment section for certain mentors. Gabriela, what's the nicest thing that you're sharing from this experience with the girls? Like, what would you point out as something that really surprised you positively?
Yeah, I mean, the level of ideas, and the girls were just ready to work on it, and they were so enthusiastic. So when they worked on the lean canvas, so I was just so surprised that I don't have to guide too much. So they are doing everything. So yeah, and I was just surprised with the level of readiness to work on this kind of stuff. I would expect that students don't have much experience, but they have lots of ideas, and they really nailed it. So yeah, it was so much fun. And then when we came to the later stage of the product and idea, I was holding so much back because I wanted to work with them also on the same idea. But okay, you are just a mentor, just stay away. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every one of us felt this, like, should I or should I not be involved? So Maria, somebody from Tech Excellence team, from the technical perspective, how much did you get involved? How much did you just guide? And what's your overall input on the products that were offered?
Okay, so well, I can give some overview of that, but to be just to state for sure at the moment, I am not fully technical at the moment, so I might not know all the latest details and development in tech. On the overall, I'm really happy that we had many of these new devices. New, maybe not new for everyone, but still much newer in everyday life. Everyone was majority of you were thinking about mobile devices and how to really use them, because everyone is carrying them around, even when you start thinking about children from 8-9 years old and then later on. And so how we can use them in a better way to help us out in different manners, from this depression and really mental health to those I know, skin problems, and later with also with this hormonal disbalance. On the other side, I must say, I really like thinking about additional devices. So this is really, really great. There are not too many embedded engineers among females. And I really like this idea because I think that ladies are bringing a new touch there. And I really wish, I'm wishing you all the best in future for sure. But still, if you manage to go into that area, I think you will have a lot of fun and you will bring something new. I must say that this, the most original one in terms of using high tech was scoliosis case and VR, because this is really introducing power we have with games at the moment, because games are present. We cannot avoid them. This is something that is out there. No matter what is our approach, whether you are, I don't know, older generation or younger, how many people around you are using them, but still many of them are using. It's also I would say, gender agnostic using the games. Of course, the reason behind, I mean, all the statistics you presented there was great, but still using VR for something like that is really, really great example how things can be fun in the same time while introducing better health. So on the overall, really great, and just keep doing that. And you'll have really fun and nice future days and work.
Yeah, Danica, as an engineer, which one do you want to build? Which one would make you excited if you were to get this project?
Oh, really tough question right now, because every presentation made special effect subjectively on me, because so much real problems were attacked, and it would be really, really difficult for me to make the decision. But I have to give a really big thumbs up for the scoliosis idea, because every other ideas were focused on female health, but this is something that was focused on little girls' health, and also it can be focused for adults. So I don't know, from the engineering perspective, every solution is kind of interesting to work. From my experience, I have worked with worked on some papers about sensors and ultrasound, and that was really interesting to me, that girls are thinking in that way. That those are really huge subjects for new researching and for developing. So I think this was great experience for all of us, and it was very nice, and I enjoyed to hear the presentations.
Thank you, Danica. So I think the jury is back. I'm not sure if they heard. Yeah, I'm not sure if they heard us talking about one of the solutions being the winning solution. So thank you all the mentors for everything you did. It was an incredible experience. So thank you to Katya's team for aligning this up. Whatever the end result is, whoever wins, I hope that everybody had a great time and learned something, right? So I'm giving the baton to Katya.
Thank you, Sophie, and thanks to all our wonderful mentors and my dear colleagues. The jury is back. We had, as all juries would say, an incredibly difficult time, but it's absolutely true. I would like to ask quickly Anne, Grace, and Tina just to share a few thoughts with you and their impressions of the day. Anne, do you want to get us started?
Sure. I just want to say congratulations to all of you. I have to say that this is, to me, pretty amazing. If I think about my age and where education has come over the past several years for women, and watching what all of you put together over the past 2 days, it's pretty amazing. If you look at the technology and the business minds that you had to have to put together these pitches, it was just amazing. And I want to congratulate all of you for the work that you did and the thoughtfulness that you put behind it. So and thank you, HTEC, for actually inviting me to present or to participate in this.
Thank you, Anne. Tina, do you have some comments for our students?
Oh, I just say +1 to what Anne said, and I'm also. It was very, very interesting to listen to all of you, also because all of your presentations really showed the thoughtfulness, how much you actually put in the legwork into preparing these, and I must congratulate all of you also for the presentations themselves. That's also a skill that is very needed nowadays. So you really show both the research part, the synthesis part in analyzing the problem, trying to solve it, but really good job in communicating it as well. And thank you, Katarina, for inviting me as well.
Thank you, Tina. Grace, any thoughts?
Yeah, I just echo everything that Tina and Anne said. I think the points Tina made around the presentation is so true. All presentations were very meticulous and well put together. And when you're presenting an idea for funding, it's the way you present it oftentimes is as important as the idea itself. So was very impressed and pleased to see how well thought out all of the presentations were. So kudos to all of you.
Okay. Thank you. We don't have much time left, just enough time to announce the winners. We'll be giving a special prize to the best presentation, best pitch, and we'll also be announcing the third, second, and first place. Now, just a little adjustment to the awards that we announced. So we were going to bring in the first team to Belgrade to spend a day at HTEC, do a series of workshops with our teams. We would like to extend that invitation to also the second and third place teams. But we will differentiate between the teams when you get here. There will be some prizes and rewards that will differ for the first team to make that difference. But we really liked all three winning solutions a lot and would love to meet you all in Belgrade and get to spend some time with you and perhaps work on further developing these ideas as well. So the special award for the best pitch and the best presentation goes to Breasty, Women's Bestie. Our jury loved the presentation and how you prepared it, the flow, the structure. So amazing job on the presentation. And now moving on to the first three spots. The third place team is Mellow Voice. Congratulations, both on choosing the topic, but also your approach with the jury. Really loved both the solution and the topic you chose to address. The second place team is the VR solution and its application to scoliosis. Every princess has a different story. I'm not quite sure what the name of the team is, but the application of VR to this target group, the way you've described it and the way you want to implement it, and also an amazing presentation as well. So that is the second place team. And our winning team for the last 2 days, and the solution, the idea that the jury found most innovative, but also the one that has the most market potential and the biggest application is Harmony, team number 6. Congratulations. Well done to everybody.
Bravo.
Bravo, yes. Yeah, and we're right on time. So we're really looking forward to meeting the Harmony, Scoliosis, and Mellow Voice teams in Belgrade. Congratulations to everybody who participated. We hope it was a valuable experience for you. We hope that you as teams stay in touch, but also you stay in touch with your mentors. I had an experience from a hackathon 2 years ago where I met the team, and I'm still in touch with them when we have coffee every once in a while. They're much younger than me, but they occasionally ask me out for coffee, make me feel younger, but also hopefully I give them some valuable advice. So that's also hopefully always an option. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being part of the HTEC Idea Marathon and for celebrating both these fantastic women who came together for the last 2 days, but also the role of technology in all of our lives for the better. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, girls.
Bye bye.